Okay, so it starts in here. This is a very small pod, and they usually are like yay big, and there's between 30, 40 in the smaller ones, and 50 and even up to 60 in the bigger pods. And the beans, when you crack them open, look something like this. So that's the wall of the pod, and then in here are all the beans, and they're surrounded by this pulp, and it's kind of like lychee. It's really sweet. It's the exact opposite of the bean itself. So you can see this is some pods in Waiahole, where we sometimes get beans from. And yeah, then the farmer would ferment them, he would dry them, and each process is about a week. So at that point I would get them, and they'd look something like this.
That's after a week?
Well, it's been fermented and then it's been dried.
Okay.
Each about a week.
Okay.
Yeah. And then what I do is I just taste them, because every ferment is different, every bean is different. To me, if it tastes good after it's been fermented and dried, it's probably going to be really nice. And then I know how to roast it. And that would be the next step, is figuring out the right roast profile. So you can see inside.
What does it taste like?
Try?
Yeah, you gonna try it?
So that's Bolivia.
Okay.
That bean.
Oh,
yep.
yeah.
Do that. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be just kind of buttery and chocolatey, and it's not even that bitter, really. Mm-hmm. It's pretty smooth.
And what is the rest of what's?
Right. So after they've been roasted, like fermented, if this gets roasted, then we deshell it. And once it's been roasted, the shell comes off easier. We figured out how to separate them by building a machine that I'll show you guys in the back. And this is essentially what we turn into chocolate. We would take this and we put this in the big grinder in that room, and the wheels, the stone wheels and a stone base, and it just crushes it for 24 to 48 hours. That's also when it starts tasting like chocolate, because we add sugar to it. If we're going to do a milk chocolate, we'll add milk powder. So yeah, you want to try some of the rest of the chocolate?
Of course.
So the way this works is there's this stainless steel tray here, and underneath is a back massager. It's got 4 speeds, and what it does is it vibrates the beans down at a constant flow, and it falls into here, which is kind of this cracking system that we designed, and it's just a PVC pipe that's going to run through a saw at an angle so that it'll grab and crack the beans as it comes through.
Okay.
And what spins it is, when you ride the bicycle, this belt that I got from Checkers spins the wheel and it cracks. Now as it cracks, it falls into this hopper here, and the shell of the bean, of the seed, is lighter, so it gets sucked into this bucket because it's hooked up to a shop
And you
vac.
built this?
I had, well, part of it was a design from a professor at UH, and I helped him build 3 prototypes before he finally gave me this. And then what I did is I added here and the bicycle,
okay,
because you can control the RPMs if you're riding a bike, whereas before there was like a hand. Well, anyway, so I will hop on this guy and show you how it works.
that is hilarious. What word is
How much airflow is going through. So if I were to open it completely, almost all the shells would go in as well. So right now there's probably more shell in there than there should be, but it's pretty clean. Yeah. The rest of it's in here. That's how winnowing works.